Oh, shout out to Todd in the chat. He says, let's have a big winning Sunday. I could not agree more. What is good, everybody? Welcome into your universe, the DTL universe. It is Sunday. Can you believe it? December 1st. We have arrived. Who would have ever thought when we launched on January 15th that we would get to December 1st, 2024, the final month of this year we call 2024, and this is your sports and sports betting brand of record. Now, yesterday, we always have a light day on demand. AB always taking care of business for us, and we'll take 5 and 3. What do we always say? We just want to win more than we lose, and yesterday was absolutely bonkers. I can't wait to ask the entire crew about yesterday, moving forward to championship weekend, and also the 11 games that are on the docket today, 7-1, 3-4, and then Sunday night football tonight in Orchard Park, where they have 18 inches of snow, and in Buffalo, 14 miles away, they have 1 inch of snow. Did I say it's Banana Land? It's Banana Land. By the way, on your way in, do me a favor. Hit that like button for us. It really helps the show grow, and the page is really starting to grow too. So thank you guys for that. So without further ado, on Sunday mornings, we waste no time. It is time for the picks. Shout out to Pat. What up to the best crew in the game? Brian is here. Double Down is here. Megan, what's up, young lady? She is here. Robbie Hockey here as well, and everybody else. Look who I've got today. It's an embarrassment of riches. Now, this man somehow, his football team has gone through all the mud and the muck and seems to come out unscathed now after yesterday. AB, good morning. Happy December to you, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. Good morning, everybody. Look, I'm just going to say this. 2 years ago, all right, LSU baseball had DTL down there. They won a national championship. Tennessee baseball had us down there, won a national championship. Tennessee football had us down there. They're not only in the college football playoff, now they're hosting a game in the college football playoff. So schools and programs, I mean, I'm just going to say, if you want to win titles and have a shot to do it, why don't you just have DTL come on by?
It will only cost you 4 plane tickets, maybe a little spot for us. I'm telling you, that's one of my goals for this brand, is to eventually be doing live shows on the road. That means we really, really arrived. It's going to happen. We're only in year 1. Now, I was trying to do the math, guys. And last night on BTT, post-Survivor Series show, we had the largest live audience in the history of the brand. And was trying to figure out who was different about that show. And then I figured it out. Guess who was a guest star on that show? Our numbers guy, Raphael Espar. Good morning, Raphael.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. It's a Sunday. I'm here. We have some great games. Oh, great afternoon games. I am so excited to watch the Eagles-Ravens game. That's the best game on the board, but the numbers are flying off the board in the NFL and in college football. UNLV, now a 3.5-point favorite. They were 5-point favorites like 2 minutes ago, so something happened while we were on the air.
As always, keep that information coming. Whenever it comes in, you interrupt and let us know. That's why Raphael is here. And finally, he is the man from the dirty, and everybody wants to visit him apparently around Mardi Gras time. I bet he's really kicking it up down there. Big Chuck. Charles, good morning.
Morning, Coach, crew, boys. Yeah, you come down here to Mardi Gras town, you'll have yourself a good old time with your boy from the dirty. But yeah, what a bonkers weekend already, and I love the day's card also. So I'm excited to get these games going off. I think we have some good ones on deck.
I agree, Charles, but before we get to those, we've got to talk a little bit about what happened yesterday, because this is the first year of this 12-team playoff, AB, and it's everything that we could have wanted. And November weeks, everything matters. And yesterday, Miami, once again, shows that their defense sucks. And then what about Ohio State and the brawl? Can we get any more drama? And now I don't know what's going to happen in this playoff, but I'm here for it. You?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And look, South Carolina and Clemson. All right. Look, we spoke about it. All right. On Friday, do not ever underestimate the hatred that is in college football. It is real, and these people want to throw down. South Carolina with a big win over Clemson. Miami, they finished the season with 0 wins over ranked teams. Matter of fact, they never even played a ranked team to begin with. 2 losses to unranked teams. And I'll give you a stat here.
Yes.
Tennessee played more ranked ACC teams than Miami did.
Are you kidding me?
Tougher strength of schedule in conference than they do.
That's banana land.
Yeah.
This whole thing's been, that's crazy. That's crazy. But they are frauds, and they do not belong in this playoff. And I believe the ACC championship is who? SMU and
Clemson.
So even though Clemson loses, they still get in. That's what I love about this stuff, man. Dabo was crying me a river. Raphael, let me come over to you, because with Ohio State losing all week, all the stuff we talked about never included Ohio State losing to Michigan at home. We said, there's going to be 4 teams. It's going to be Oregon. It's going to be Ohio State. It's going to be Indiana probably, and then Penn State. And now all that has been blown up. And now Ohio State's got to sit at home and hope and beg people to vote for them. Do you think Ohio State's going to get in now with those 2 losses to Oregon?
Yeah,
Oregon and Michigan.
I believe they get in, but boy, what a bunch of $1 million wasted for Ohio State to bring all these guys in, and they can't even win a game at home against Michigan. They got outrushed. Their defense got pushed around. Their line got pushed around, especially in the second half. Dane needs to win the ship to keep his job. If he doesn't win the ship, he's gone. That whole coaching staff will be gone. So if you're an Ohio State fan, you're probably having a very, very bad Sunday. But I'm going to bounce back on that SMU-Clemson game. Clemson opened up a 1-point favorite. Now SMU, 2.5-point favorite.
It never stops. It never stops. It's incredible. Charles, real quick, your biggest surprise, and then don't worry, Asa, we'll get to the NFL. Getting a little impatient there in the chat, but Liddy takes care of us, as always. Big Chuck, your biggest surprise.
Hey, what about Miami down 7 with under 4 minutes left at the 10-yard line on 4th down with a Heisman Trophy finalist, and they kick a field goal knowing their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. But then they end up losing. Of course, they couldn't get a stop. So yeah, but you have your man there, 4th down from the 10. You don't go for the touchdown. That was just remember incredible. We said we would get Cristobal'd at some point during the season, and there it was.
It's a verb, Cristobal. It's a verb. That was incredible. All right, the chat is popping. DG is in there, and a member of the crew, obviously. If you have any question for DG, put them in the chat. He'll answer them for you in real time. Gentlemen, let's get to the NFL now and our straight picks first. So, AB, let me come over to you, because you're going to be sitting there reacting to our straight picks, all right? That's your job this morning. You cool with that?
Got it.
All right,
that was good. That was a good transition. You did good.
There you go. Thank you. I had to save myself. All right, Charles, let's start with you. 2 big ones, and I like overs today. Let's go.
Steelers, Bengals to over 46.5, with Pittsburgh games going over in 5 of the last 6, and Cincy in 8 of 10, plus 7 of 8 at home. I see points in this one. Rams and Saints over 49, keeping with the theme of high-scoring games as the Rams arrive in the NO, going over the total in 7 of the past 10 on the road, and New Orleans have cashed the over in 8 of their last 12 games.
It should be noted that of the weather, I looked at all of the games today, and only Buffalo has snow. The rest of them are just kind of cool temperatures. AB in Cincinnati, it's supposed to be like high 30s, low 40s. So I don't think weather really will be an issue. Do you like either one of those overs that Charles just gave out?
Yeah, I don't mind either of them at all. I'm so fascinated in Rams and Saints. Matthew Stafford versus Derek Carr. You've got it inside of a dome. This game is either going to be very high in precision or just a mess. And I don't know which one that we're going to get. Either one, I believe, leads to the over. So I really like that Rams and Saints over 49. That's going to be a wild game, man.
I agree. And neither team is out of the playoff picture yet. That's the great thing about 7 teams, is that even at 4-7, if you go on a run to end the season, you can still make the playoffs. All right. Thank you, AB, very much. Shout out to Justin. He says Burrow throws 303 tutties on the Steelers today. We shall see. Cody, good morning to you as well. All right. Raphael, you're giving me, is that a little teaser I'm looking at right here? And then also you like the Eagles today, which I absolutely love. Explain yourself.
I'm a little shocked that AB didn't have the Titans game going over. It's one of the biggest liability games on the board right now. That total opened up at 43.5 and just moved to 45. So I'll give you that one. But Falcons, 6-point teaser. Falcons +7, Bills money line. I like this teaser, especially if the snow in Buffalo is pushing it all the way just so I'll pick them. So I'll take that one. And what a horrible road trip for the Chargers coming off a short week. And I found this stat. I have to read this because I want to correct it. Kirk Cousins 9-1 against the spread as a dog when his team is coming off back-to-back losses, 11-4 against the spread in his career. I like the Falcons at home today, so I'm going to go back down. And then again, Bills snow game. I'll take the pick. I think they win that one. And then a second play, give me the Eagles +3, the best game on the board, the best defense playing this game. I'm still not sold on the Ravens. I'll take defense of the Eagles. And I think Barkley has a huge game in the air and through his legs rushing, so I'll take the Eagles plus the points.
I'm just letting it wash over me for a second because I feel like I'm missing something, AB, with this Eagles team, the fact that they're getting points. I think right now behind the Lions, this is the best team in football.
Yeah, I mean, look at their defense, too. It's top 10, both against the run and the pass. But, Raphael, what he brings up is the fact that sometimes it feels like Philly can't score. And then they come out and score 35, right? And then Baltimore is the one that looks like, oh, I don't know what to do with this team. I'm with him, man. Right now, if you're going to give me the Eagles with plus money against anybody, I'll take it. You know what I mean? Philly's playing great football right now. And that's wild that the Titans over, Raphael, you were saying. That's the one. That's the biggest liability, huh?
But there's about 4 or 5 quick big liabilities, and that's one of them, which is shocking because, no offense, those are some bad teams.
No offense taken.
I mean, no offense that you took my entire analysis for one of my best bets away from me, but don't even worry about it, Raphael. Don't even worry about it. I was getting ready to say this is the biggest liability of all the games today, and that's why I like the over with the Commanders and the Titans. I mean, I hate to just repeat what Raphael just said, but I think today, we showed last week, Titans had 32. They're not a bad football team. They're just bad overall football team. Then the Vikings today, I think the Cardinals are frauds. I've been thinking they are frauds all year. And today they go on the road to Minnesota, and I'm only given a field goal. And last week, all they managed to score was 6 against the Seahawks. I'll take my chances because Minnesota has to stay with Detroit, and the Lions have already won this week. They're already done. They won on Thanksgiving. So I love the Vikings play. You're going to cash with the coach those 2 plays. Now, let's flip it over. It's time for props. And AB, it's a week 13 when I'm seeing 4 interception props from my boy. You're up.
Yes, sir. Now, look, on Thanksgiving, it felt like no one was throwing picks to anyone. All right, that was not the Thanksgiving attitude. Nobody was giving. It was terrible. All right, that's going to change today. I think that this is going to be the most exciting NFL Sunday that we've had all year long. I think that we're going to see upsets. I think we're going to see frauds come out, all kinds of things. But what fuels that are picks? Give me Geno Smith, 1+ interception, flying across the country here to play the New York Jets. Everybody trusts the New York Jets right now. How could you not? But now Geno throw it. The Seahawks throw it so many times. I'm going to take him at 115. Derek Carr, just spoke about it against the Rams. I think that he is going to be throwing the football all day long. I'll take him for a pick. I'll also take Matthew Stafford because they throw it a ton as well. And then finally, you know what, Raphael? I'm with you. Raphael, I am taking Lamar Jackson to throw a pick against that Eagles defense. I think Raphael spot on in what he's going with and the Eagles +3. I'll take Lamar +1. How about that?
Looking at those interceptions, I can't help but get excited for tonight's no-fly zone for Sunday Night Football in the snow. Oh, my goodness. How much will they be passing tonight? We'll discuss that coming up in a little bit. And tonight for a full hour leading up to Sunday Night Football. All right, Big Chuck. Alvin Kamara, I have not said his name in weeks, but I love that you have him back on your board. Give me your 2.
Alvin Kamara over 38.5 receiving yards. And Alvin comes in, he's averaging 40 receiving yards per game and going against this Rams defense that just got slaughtered by Saquon. I see him having a big day, getting at least 39 receiving yards. Then Puka Nacua, over 82.5 receiving yards against this Saints back end as well. He's actually hit this prop in 4 of his last 5. I love him to get at least 83 receiving yards today in the Big Easy.
Boom. And Raphael, we got 2 there. Taysom Hill has really been a guy that the Saints have leaned on in a lot of different ways this year. You're up.
Yeah, Taysom Hill over 62.5 rushing and receiving yards, $120. His last game, he had a total of 188 total receiving and rushing yards. Now I'm only doing 62.5. With a bye week, Taysom Hill has a big game. And if the Saints want to win 3 straight, they're going to need him. It's going to be very interesting if they do win 3 straight. I think they keep Rizzy and they extend him, and he'll be the new head coach of the Saints because it'll be a lot cheaper to keep him than to hire someone else. So keep an eye out for that one. And then give me Joe Burrow, rushing yards over 9.5. He's hit this 4 out of 6 props. He's going to need a big game if he wants to beat a division rival Steelers. I can see him rushing, especially in the second half, to push that over. I like the over 9.5.
All right, very, very good. Those are our straight picks. Those are our prop picks. But as you guys know, hashtag it pays to watch live, because in discussions here on DTL, at least with the guys that I have, you can always start to get a few more nuggets that may lean into bets that you want to make at your book. We never force you to do anything. You can do it on your own. But AB, we got to start with, in my opinion, the biggest surprise line of the entire day. And I want you to explain this to me. It's also the biggest game, in my opinion. It's an AFC North battle. The Bengals should be much better than they are. And the books have them as 3-point favorites and the total of 46.5. But the Steelers are the first place team. Am I missing something?
No. We spoke about it on Friday. And look, came to play out a lot so far already. Playing at home this time of year, it matters. All right. It absolutely matters. And not that the weather or anything is going to affect either of these teams. But remember, these coaches know each other. Joe Burrow knows this team. Like, these coaches have scouted against each other. And the books are basically saying the Bengals have nothing to lose. They're going to throw everything that they've got. Joe Burrow doesn't turn the ball over. All right. And he scores points. That's what they're looking at right there. And they're saying, can the Steelers keep up? It's weird when they're going to bait you with the Steelers. But, yeah, I think that this number is spot on here. Look, I like the Bengals, man. I think they'll score a lot of points.
Big Chuck, I'm letting that sink in for a second, because in the NFL, I get sucked into this too, where you're like, no, and it's a week-to-week thing, and this is a perfect example of what we're talking about. And you like points in Cincinnati today also, right?
And that's why I like the Bengals also. It kind of correlates together. I think a higher scoring game definitely benefits the Bengals. I said originally, I said this earlier in the week that I kind of went back and forth on the Steelers, but I kind of went to the Bengals. And like I said, it's a correlation. Higher score game benefits the Bengals. So, yeah, I think they get this one. I think it'll be tight. So if you do like the Steelers, tease them through those. If you have 2.5, so come down through those 3 and 7s, also a good idea. You may even be able to middle those.
And from a prop perspective, Raphael, lately, Joe Burrow, whether it's attempts, completions, yards, touchdowns, all the overs have been coming in every single week. What leads us to believe that we should not play Burrow's overs again today?
Because it wouldn't shock me if the Bengals blow them out. So AB said it personally. They know each other. Maybe the Steelers will take a small step backwards after that snowy loss that they're receiving. I like the Bengals in this spot because I do see the Steelers regress a bit through the end of the season. I think Cincinnati throws everything at them. I think they win this game. And this is the most well-balanced betting game, 50-50 action coming on both ways, so nothing's really pushing me to see, the wise guys like the Bengals or the wise guys like plus points. The only thing that Steelers tickets are coming in, if you like the Steelers, they're taking a money line. They're like, we don't need the +3. If the Steelers win this game, they're going to win straight up, so they're taking a money line on Pittsburgh, but I like the Bengals in this spot.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way a little bit. Shout out to Legendary. He says Bengals are going to play this game like a playoff game. They have to win this game. I agree with that. Mark, quick update from Buffalo. He says, Coach, weather in Buffalo, slight chance of snow. Storm has already dropped the main snow. The biggest issue is going to be the wind. We're going to talk about that game tonight, but real quick, AB, when you're handicapping and you know that there's a lot of wind coming, what does that change for you?
Number one, as a quarterback, all right, you had better be able to throw the ball hard, all right, like a pitcher. If you're not throwing 98, you're not playing in this game, man. Josh Allen can do it. He can also run with his legs. Now, Brock Purdy doesn't have a bad arm. What also comes into play are field goals, man. Like, if you don't have a secure kicker, all right, you're going to be in some trouble. And you're already going to have to bring that yardage down. What that tells me, can your quarterback run on 4th and 1? And Josh Allen has made a career off doing that. So that's what that game tells me.
And now Josh Allen's coming in all happy. Him and his boo got engaged this week during Thanksgiving. Now all the pressure's on Travis. No, I promised I wouldn't bring up. I promised. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. By the way, the live number is just climbing. You guys are amazing. Just making us a part of your day. We can't thank you enough. Amazing. When you come in, though, hit that like button. Make it a part of your day. All right. Now, game number 2. My question is this. Who is the bigger fraud? And, Raphael, I'll start with you on this one. The Chargers traveling all the way from La La Land, out where I'm sitting right now, to Atlanta. There will be no Chick-fil-A today. But there will be the Falcons, and they are a first-place team despite not playing good football the last couple of weeks. But the Chargers just got blown out by the Ravens. Who's a bigger fraud?
I'm going to say the Chargers in this spot. Short week. Dobbins got hurt. But the Falcons +1 at home? You said they're first place and you're getting +1 at home. I don't understand that. And I understand why the Chargers are getting the love because their Harbaugh's there. We all want to know about that, the love that they're getting all season long. But Atlanta, they just watched Tampa Bay blow out their opponent last week, and they're creeping up. And now Tampa has to play Carolina. So if you're Atlanta, you need this big game because you know the person underneath you is playing the Carolina Panthers. So you need to win this game. I'll take the plus points. I think Kirk Cousins has a big game.
I think Kirk Cousins, Big Chuck, has a big game also. And it seems like every 3 or 4 games when they need it, he's had some gigantic games this year. Do you think today against this Charger team that might be beat up a little bit, might be nursing their wounds just a little bit, that this would be a good spot for the guy that's getting paid $180 million?
I think this is a perfect spot for the Dirty Birds and Kirk to come out and get back on track, especially after their last defeat to the Broncos. But they come in off the bye week. I know they had this one circled. Yeah, and like Raphael mentioned, the Chargers come in off a short week, banged up, no J.K. Dobbins. I love the home dog in this one, so they're still technically the dog. And I think we'll see a high-scoring game. I think we'll see some points, and that will definitely benefit the Falcons as well.
No doubt about it. AB, let me come over to you because these right now, if the playoffs started today, these would be playoff teams, but yet we're not really talking about them at all. Why do you think that is?
They're not flashy, right? That's why. And that's why they're both playoff teams, because they're efficient, man. They run the football. They can throw the football. All right. They don't really turn the ball over at all. They're both time of possession, long drive type teams. That's what you're going to see out of this one today. Essentially, who can get to the quarterback? Whose defensive line can win the battle against the offensive line? And, look out. The Chargers can do that pretty well.
Yes, they can. They just didn't do that against Lamar Jackson because he's Lamar Jackson, for God's sake. How about Kevin? Shout out, must have had a good day yesterday, gifting 5 memberships today. Man, all you guys, your premium members, you guys are amazing. What that's going to happen is you have to tune in live. If you're not a premium member, randomly, our little system or our tech will pick you out, and you'll get to get all of the – God, I almost pulled a soupy right there, guys. Knocked all my stuff over. You'll get all of the perks of being a premium member, which is extra episodes, extra content, all the stuff. You get the video of Detail the Podcast Monday through Friday, all of it, but you got to be watching live. You know what, guys, makes me have a little tear coming down my face from time to time? When our girl Melanie comes into the chat, and then you see them talking like this. She says, McConkey, couldn't even get me one last week, but I'm all for it. I need it for my fantasy this week. Melanie, that just cuts right to my heart. AB, she's talking about McConkey on the show. Melanie.
Lad, the white boy.
Is that going to be what he is? The only white receiver that we talk about on the show.
I know, right? Like there's no other ones in the league. It's just him, man.
By the way, your boy, because he went to Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Right? Your boy Bowers the other day. My goodness.
Oh.
My goodness.
Hey, I'll tell you this. All right. Bowers went off. Like, he's been going off. It's crazy. This dude, he can run the football at Georgia. He's fast. He's fast. I'm telling you, once they figure out how to use him in the backfield, I swear to you, anybody who watched Georgia and watched Bowers when he was there, he could literally line up as a running back and go. It's amazing, man.
Wow. Raphael, go.
Huge money continues to come in on Jacksonville right now. This one opened up Houston -7. Now Trevor Lawrence is playing. It's 3.5. By the time we end this show, I would not shock maybe 3 across the board. So if you're looking for plus points, hurry up and grab it because that's not going to be there, especially with Trevor Lawrence playing right now. And then Eagles moneyline money coming in as well.
That's actually the game we're going to go to next. By the way, Jacksonville at home at 1 o'clock at 2-9. So their season's over. They're playing the role of spoiler. The Texans, they've been stumbling. They're 7-5. They really need a win today. Kevin says, no, not Kevin. Brian Browers runs hard just like AB to the closet Taco Bell.
Yeah. They kept the Mexi Melts. They kept them.
Yes, they did. Jeff says Bowers should be Rookie of the Year, but it's a quarterback award only, it seems. Sometimes, Jeff, imagine what Bowers will do with a quarterback, Pat says. Pat, that's a very, very good question. Now, before we get to our next game, which will be the Eagles and the Ravens, we do have a question from the chat that I would love anybody to take. I have an educate and entertain question. What's the logic behind doing parlays versus straight picks? All right. AB, you start with this one, and then we'll get over to Chuck, and then we'll have Raphael go last with your take. Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's a couple logics. Number one, some people try to just get really high odds, right? They just try to stack a lot of stuff together and think it's going to happen. But what I like to do is if I'm doing it, I keep it to 2 legs minimum, all right, or maximum. Keep it 2 legs and just 2 like money line style of plays. The point is to win the bet, not get a bunch of high odds, right? So that's what I try to do. Take 2 risky bets, move them down. You know, if you've got a favorite, -3 and -3, try to bring them down to money line and money line, right? So you try to reduce your risk. That's my look at it.
Very well said. Liddy says greed is the difference between making parlays and straight picks. Charles, what is your philosophy on that? Because I don't think we talk about the basics enough here at DTL.
Stay away, but once you hit that first parlay, you're usually hooked, and you think you can hit it over and over. That's usually the way it happens. But if you're going to do it, I would just stick with a two-legger, like AB said. Even though the math could even say sometimes a 3-legger could have better percentages for you, but I would just stick, if you have to, something that your conviction is on those 2 certain sides or totals or mixed together. That's the only way I would do it. But it's been proven. You just stick with straight bets, you'll come out a lot better in the long run. But yeah, it usually happens. People hit that first parlay and then they're hooked.
Flan Fam says straight bets for long-term play, parlays with extra winnings. Not a bad way to go about it. Raphael, I saved you for last. Your thoughts on parlays, sir?
Thank you for my windscreen. I want everyone to lay down. I want to be your therapist right now when it comes to parlay betting. AB was correct. If you're going to do a parlay, only do 2. But if you're going to do a 2-team parlay, make sure they're not the same team or the same game. Why would you want to have a same game, 2-team parlay, favorite over? But straight bets, I've always told people, straight bets makes you a better gambler, makes you a better studier when you're looking at the game than parlays than looking at 2 games. And then it's just all about greed. Everyone hits that one parlay and they want more. I tell my twin brother, 2-team only. And the next thing he shows me his picks, I got a 5-teamer and he'll win 4 out of 5. But if you bet all single bets, you would have had a winning day. 4 out of 5. Because I can guarantee you, every time you lose a parlay, it's always one team. You always lose by one team. So straight bets is the reason why I didn't have a good job. Parlays is the reason why I got raises every year when I was working in casino.
Matt says 100% greed for me. Japan says straight bets is for the long haul. AB, go.
Yeah, I want to say, if you're going to play parlays, look at it like this way, all right? Your dinner, all right, is your straight plays, all right? Your vegetables, your water, eat that, drink that first. Parlays is a dessert if you can afford it at the restaurant. You know what I mean?
What the hell do you know about vegetables, AB?
Yeah.
I started to write that word down. I was like, what the hell did he just say? But it's a great analogy. It's a great
There's lettuce and tomato at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Cinnamon apples is a vegetable, right?
Yes. Justin says Coach loves parlays. I do not. Blasphemy, I say. Blasphemy. Now, it's also blasphemy that anybody in any team can have a bye week in week 14, but alas, next week, that is the case. So, AB, as we get to our next game, I don't think people are talking about this enough when they talk about the Saquon Derrick Henry comparison. And will today, at 4:25 p.m. Eastern time, will today be the decider for the MVP race? Well, Saquon's got, let me check my notes, 1,392 yards rushing this season. Derrick Henry, 1,325 yards this season. However, Derrick Henry, AB, has played one more game than Saquon has, and they are 8-4, and the Eagles are 9-2. Right now, in your mind, is today the day that we make this decision?
I think that Saquon is the only running back that could get MVP. And you know how much I love Derrick Henry, but I think Saquon, like with the marketing and the basically the PR that it's been of how much fun that Saquon Barkley has been, I think he's the only one. I'll say this for both of these guys, like whoever comes out of it today has earned it because both of these run defenses are good, man. And they all know where the ball is going with both of them. So I can't wait to watch it and see how these two go. But Saquon will get every opportunity to do it. He'll get way more carries than Derrick. Yeah, he's going to earn it today.
They definitely are. Big Chuck, let me come over to you. Is today the day? Because sometimes the NFL scheduling gods give us what we need, and this is what we need.
This is just the offensive player of the year showdown. We know that they're not going to give that award to a running back. It would be nice. I think he's really been the most important, but I think this will probably be a more shining on Lamar and possibly Jalen Hurts. So, yeah, I think this is more of a offensive player of the year showdown. But, yeah, I could definitely, if I had to give it to anyone, it would be Saquon.
I've never understood that, by the way. How can you win the MVP and not be the offensive player of the year? It's never made sense to me. If you're Josh Allen and you're the MVP, how are you not the offensive player of the year? Spreading it around. Raphael, your thoughts? Saquon?
Well, you know what I did. I put prop bets on these two that I sent you guys. Who will finish with the most rushing yards? It opened up Derrick Henry minus 150. I made Barkley plus 110. It's now reversed. Now everyone think Barkley's going to have, because I think people think Barkley's going to have a bigger game today on the ground than Henry, especially with that Eagles defense. So it's going to be very interesting. These prop bets got a lot of good action because let's face it, these two running backs deserve some MVP love. And I agree with what AB said. I think Barkley, because the flash, his name, no disrespect to the King, but I think Barkley's name is a little bit bigger than Derrick Henry. He's a lot younger than the King, but I think Barkley will probably have a better shot of winning the MVP.
Do you think maybe a little bit that it's their style and AB, the fact that when Saquon's highlights go up on the screen, it's him jumping backwards over a dude, and Derrick Henry's just putting his shoulder down and saying, guys, give it to me 25 times and I'll get you over 100 yards.
That, yes, absolutely. That goes into it, man. The highlights that you see over and over and over. We've seen Derrick Henry just running fools over for 8 years now. Also, here's the thing, too. Derrick Henry ran for 2,000 yards in a season. There's only 8 other people in the history of life that have done it, and they didn't even put him in the top 3 of voting for MVP. So it's like he would have to actually top that to get a shot. You know what I'm saying? Like he's already done it, so to say. Yeah, like that. And I hate that because I'll give you a stat. Derrick Henry's the only person in the history of life that's ran for 2,000 yards in a high school season, 2,000 yards in a college season, and 2,000 yards in an NFL season. No one in the history of cellular life has ever done that. He's the only person, and they didn't even put him in the top 3 of voting for MVP. So there you go.
At some point, they need to change this whole voting process, or I'll see some random person on social media and like their profile will say, father of 3 and voter for the highs. And I'm like, who is this person? Where did they come from? How did they get a vote? And why haven't I ever heard of them? That needs to start changing and getting people that are thinking forward. By the way, there's been a lot of rumblings coming out of New York this week, and none of it is good. And AB, the Seahawks so far this year, because they're a team that I can't seem to figure out. Aaron Rodgers is always a hot button. The Jets season is over, but the Seahawks have now had to travel to the Jets today, New York. They've had to travel to Atlanta, to Detroit, and to New England. So 3.5 trips to the East Coast. Somebody does not like them, but it's basically an even game. Can the Seahawks pray? Because they need to win because their whole division is all bunched up. And the Jets, they're just punting at this point. Can the Seahawks get it done again on the road?
They can, but I'm actually with the Jets today. I think that this is one of those Aaron Rodgers smart-ass games, all right? This is one of those where he comes out because way too much negativity has been coming at him and his boy Woody Johnson. And Aaron Rodgers is still good enough, all right, to light you up on one day. He's still good enough to do it. And I think the Jets, don't underestimate a locker room that's pissed off and just tired of hearing crap constantly. I think the Seahawks are walking into a buzzsaw today.
Interesting take. Big Chuck, you're kind of shaking your head over there a little bit. What do you make of that?
All week, that's all I've seen. This is 100% a Jet spot. I think the Seahawks had their big game last week. It's all about spots in the NFL. So, yeah, I think they're running into a bad one today. The travel, the time of the day, everything goes against them. I think Geno has a horrendous day coming back to his old stomping ground. So, yeah, I love the Jets in this spot.
Yeah, Double Down said, this is so like the Jets to start winning now. That would be Double Down the way the Jets would go about it. Raphael, your take.
I was wishing this was a 4:00 game because we might see a different number than we're seeing right now between either a 1 or a pick, because we would like to see what the morning crew would have moved this number up. But I think it's a Jets game. Good spot for the Jets.
Okay. By the way, shout out to DG. I don't know how lazy have you guys got. And I don't insult you guys very often. But AB, we've got well over 1,000 people watching live. And we can't get more than 150 likes for the show. Is that what we continue to do for these people, AB?
Hey, just pull the screen down. All right. Click like, pull it right back up. It'll help your friends.
Yeah, it'll help your friends a lot. Hit that like button for us. All right, let's move on to the next game because there's a couple here that I'm interested in. And AB, your Titans, although not winning a lot of games, and let me look here real quick. Yes, 3-8. They are playing some entertaining games. They did beat the Texans, a first-place team, a week ago, and they scored 32 points in the process. So today, that's kind of why I played the over, one of my best bets, because the Commanders also need to come out like a house on fire. How do you think your Titans perform today in the nation's capital?
The Titans are playing better football, right? And the locker room is not giving up. Give them credit on that, man. They show up. And I'll give Will Levis this, dude. The guy will give you everything he's got. There is no quit in this dude whatsoever. Now, sometimes that gets you into trouble. He'll throw a pick six, which seems to happen every single week. If you could find that bet, do it. But yeah, man, like the Titans, they don't quit, but they also have a much better defense than people think. Their defense is actually a top 5 defense out here. So pay attention to that one. I'm not buying the Titans to win the game, but this could be a low-scoring game.
Damn, AB, right between the eyes on one of my best bets. It hurts. Not a lot, but it hurts. It hurts. Raphael, help me. Save me from AB.
This one's interesting because this one opened up Washington -7, and Titans been getting love all season long as big plus dogs, and they've been cashing some of those tickets. So I'm a little curious on this one. Washington needs a big game, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But like AB said, their defense is surprisingly good. I still think this one goes over just because I think Washington has a big game. But, man, Tennessee Titans has just been covering games with big numbers. The number's no longer there, the big number, because it's now 5.5 in Vegas. So I would not be shocked if everyone else pulls it back down to 5.5.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They have been doing that. By the way, Brian says, Coach getting no respect. Brian, what's new? What's new here at DTL? Quick question for Charles. Lask against Austria Wien. Both teams to score. Your thoughts?
I like it. They generally each hit the back of the net. That's just dependent on the price. If it's too high, you can wait a couple minutes and get it live. But, yeah, these two generally score on each end, even if it ends 1-1.
Okay, very good. AB, go.
Yeah, I wanted to say something, and Jeff brought it up. Anybody who's looking for prop bets in that Titans-Commanders game, Titans wide receiver Nick Westbrook-Akine, okay? Remember that name. He's wide receiver. The dude does not drop passes. Does not. He has glue on that man's hands. He catches the ball, and they throw it to him a lot because they trust him. So if you're looking for some prop bets of names that people might not know, Nick Westbrook-Akine.
Do you like the receptions or yards better if you were to play for show purposes only?
I like them both, but I would take receptions because they'll throw it to him a lot, and the dude does not drop them, man.
All right. Well, somebody in the chat, my man Jeff, just brought up that name. He says, Coach, if we parlay Westbrook, Keanu, my eyes are horrible, Lockett, Demario Douglas, Lockett, and Joshua Palmer all to get 100 yards, a $10 bet returns $1.6 million, and we wouldn't even have to sweat the 4 p.m. games. Why am I entertaining that right now? Why am I thinking about doing that right now?
I'll tell you why. Look, because Westbrook Akine, you know where he comes from? Indiana. This man's feeling the juice, baby.
I was going to say Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I was like, I'm done. If he went to Tennessee, I'm done. Now it's all about Indiana because DG's in the chat. And he's all happy with Ohio State losing yesterday. All happy because now his Hoosiers could be one of 3 teams to get in. All right, the chat is just popping today. I love the chat on a Sunday morning. You guys are absolutely amazing. Last game that I want to get to, and then we'll get the hell out of Dodge and let all of you enjoy your day. But, Charles, I'm going to start with you because when you look at Minnesota, the number 1 team in the wild card race, and at 9-2, they've got to be saying to themselves, how the hell are we 9-2 and not leading our division? Well, that's because Detroit is better and a little bit luckier. So now Minnesota, and then you've got Arizona, who is 4th because at 6-5, they lose last week to Seattle. So you got 2 teams right there in the middle of the wild card race, and it's only a field goal. I love Minnesota today. What about you?
I kind of went back and forth. I'm kind of liking the Cardinals in this one. I think they can keep it at that. When I see the 3.5, I think that they can keep it within that hook. The Vikings, they're kind of Jekyll and Hyde. You never know what you're going to get with them here as of late. I can definitely see Darnold serving up a few picks to this Cardinals defense. So I'm kind of like the fighting Kyler Murray's to keep it in within a field goal.
Okay. Real quick, breaking news. We move lines here at DTL. Brian says Westbrook went from plus money to minus 115. Boom. Just like that. AB, you're moving lines, kid. You're moving lines.
Hey, all of us together, baby. Everybody's in on the NWI train. Let's go.
Let's go. Raphael, back to you. The train running through Minnesota. We haven't heard anything about weather because it's indoors. I was actually there for a conference when they were building this particular stadium. Not that it matters, but your thoughts on today's game indoors with the Cardinals and Arizona right smack dab. And when you look real quick, let me just look real quick, because in their division, 2 teams at 6-5, but Seattle would win the tiebreaker. So Arizona would be the wild card team, and then 2 teams at 5-6. So this is a kind of a must win for Arizona to keep the pace.
It's a must win for both games, but you better hope there has heat in that dome because it's cold in Minnesota right now. But shop around. DraftKings has 3 minus 120, and so is another global book. Everyone else has 3.5. So if you like the Vikings, lay the juice at $120. If you like the Cardinals, get 3.5 or buy the half a point and get +4 just in case it lands at 3. You'll be sitting pretty on this one. I like Skull in this game. They're at home. They've watched Minnesota win on Thanksgiving. I like Skull. I think they take care of business.
Okay. Remember, 7 games today at 1 o'clock, 3 at 4 o'clock, and then Sunday night football. AB, go.
Yeah, real quick. The Vikings, they've hit the first quarter over in 14 of their last 20 games.
The Vikings team total or just their games?
No, the game over.
The game over.
So 14 of their last 20, they've hit the first quarter over.
Yep.
Okay.
They score quick.
Trends, ladies and gentlemen, trends. First half over. I've got so many notes here. I hope you guys are taking. I kid you not. I take notes during the show. You got to work constantly, 24/7. You can't stop. You can't stop. And along those lines, guys, before we get out of here, I wanted to point something out. You guys know how day in and day out, Japan is always shooting strays right at your boy, right? Guess who I watched on his own show the other day as I was doing a deep dive on YouTube? Guess who has his own show on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen? That's right. Japan has his own show on YouTube. So Japan, you want to be in my chat every single day? Just understand one of these days, your boy's going to show up in your chat, and we'll see how you like it. AB, it was like Christmas morning when I stumbled on that show yesterday or the day before, whatever it was. Would you care to join me, AB, in said chat?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, let's go. Hey, Ian, Japan, shout that chat out so that everybody can jump in, subscribe. Make sure that we can all get there.
Yes, all kidding aside, do that, and then we'll just come and harass you for an entire 90 minutes or whatever it is. DG, I think DG's our general manager. He's like, drop the link, Japan. He's like, yeah, do this, do that. DG, our resident GM. He's great with the salary cap. Really, really great with the salary cap. All right, we like to wind up every single Sunday morning show with a final take as we head into a pivotal Sunday in Week 13, and we are officially now in December. So, Big Chuck, let me come over to you. Your final take. Go.
Are we finally going to see some dogs win? I know the books are getting killed with all these favorites in day in or each weekend. So, are we finally going to see some dogs start barking this weekend as the season rounds out? I'm definitely curious to see if these dogs finally come in.
Rough, Raphael.
I love me a snowy game. I'm excited to watch this Buffalo game. I might have to go over there and shovel some snow, but I'm excited. I loved watching Pittsburgh's snowy game. This one's going to be fun. Lake effect snow is no joke. I grew up in the Midwest. I hate lake effect snow.
It's the worst. I don't know if they're paying anybody $15 an hour to go shovel snow because they did that last year. And a lot of people showed up. Interesting. All right. Hey, B, final take.
The Houston Texans have a serious problem in second half of games scoring points. The New England Patriots at home, complete opposite. They score a ton of points. So just keep that with you.
So many little nuggets that AB has dropped today here on the show. That's why I always cut them ready. Hashtag it pays to watch live, and you got to be here from the jump, especially on Sunday mornings. Finally, AB, I don't like when people beg for attention. You know what I mean? But I'll give it to them if they ask for it. So I don't know if anybody had the time to watch Weekend Wagers on Friday. It's our show, premium, crew members only, DG, Mark. And apparently I forgot Robbie Hockey's name, right? So I see on social media, AB, Raphael, Charles, that Robbie got a little offended that I didn't remember his name and called me out on Weekend Wagers, on our brand. And now he's going to double down today. He says, Coach was taking notes on my promo skills while in his deep dive on YouTube. I didn't have to go very deep. It's on our page. But hey, B, your thoughts that we're giving all of these platforms, all of this time, all of this everything, and then they're going to come after your boy? Defend me, AB. Defend me.
Yeah, first off, look, man, you don't come after the owner. All right, that's just a rule across anything. And number two, hey, Coach, let me say, that's the spirit of Clarksville, Tennessee right there, son. The Governors. You don't come after the Governors, man. They get down on you. That's how they go, man.
Don't come after the Governors. That's what I'm telling you right now. So, Mark, Robbie, DG, your time might be limited on Weekend Wagers. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Gentlemen, well done. Thank you, as always, for getting up on a Sunday morning. It's never easy, but the grind continues as we head into December. A gentle reminder, we will be here live tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time, counting down to a very snowy Orchard Park. 18 inches already. We'll see how much more they get throughout the day. It'll be the 49ers. It'll be the Bills. The whole crew will be here, and we'll be counting that down. In the meantime, enjoy the day. Enjoy the rest of the holiday weekend. Get out there. Be kind to one another. Get that shopping done and understand this. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My time crew, Lobo, my man from the Dirty Big Chuck, my numbers guy, Raphael, my partner, AB, producer man, always behind the scenes making the show look like $1 million. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. Is truly what we're all about every single day right here at Driving the Line. Good luck.